Hey everybody, welcome to another video, and today we have an interesting partnership between ChargePoint and InductEV, which is a company that builds these wireless EV chargers. So these work very similarly to a wireless phone charger, if you're familiar with those. It's something where you would park your vehicle over top this sort of pad that's usually integrated into the pavement below, and then it would start wirelessly charging the vehicle, usually completely autonomously, although you might need to select something to be able to begin the charging. But it's generally an option where you don't need to plug in a cable at all. You just drive over top this pad and it'll begin charging. So we're going to go through this press release real quick. So they say InductEV, the leading AI-powered wireless EV charging platform for high-power vehicles, today announced a strategic partnership with ChargePoint, a leading EV charging network, to expand the availability of high-powered wireless EV charging solutions across the United States. InductEV's technology can deliver up to 450 kilowatts of high-power transmission, and the partnership aims to help private and public operators of transit and commercial vehicles power their fleets by providing efficient wireless charging solutions. A couple things to go over here before we move on. The first is the 450 kilowatts of high-power transmission. Now, I'm not the most familiar with these wireless chargers, but I don't believe this is going to be the power that the vehicle, the actual charge rate that the vehicle is able to charge at. This might just be the output of the wireless charging device, essentially. So because of the lower efficiency of these devices, this might drop down in reality by the time it actually gets to the vehicle and is charging the battery. And then the second thing is sort of the target market that it seems like they're going after here, being private and public operators of transit and commercial vehicles. So this really does sound like it's more geared towards fleets specifically, both, private and public. So this would be something like a car rental facility or a public, bus line. Lots of the promotional images on InductEV's website, they have, buses that would be, essentially being able to wirelessly charge at bus stops. They roll up and then they immediately would begin charging, and then once they leave, the charging session is over. They don't need to plug into a charger or anything like that. So I just wanted to point that detail out. It doesn't sound like this is going to be something, that's going to be deployed at public charging stations really, or in people's homes. This is something that's more for fleets. Moving on here, they say that the partnership will focus on developing high-speed wireless charging infrastructure on a large scale, with the economic and operational needs of fleets in mind. By combining InductEV's expertise in wireless charging solutions with ChargePoint's extensive network of charging stations and advanced fleet charging software, the partnership aims to provide more convenient and reliable charging options for EV drivers in fleet and commercial applications. We are excited to partner with ChargePoint to expand the availability of our high-powered wireless EV charging solutions, said Brandon Anulovich, Chief Revenue Officer of InductEV. This partnership will allow us to reach a wider audience and help more organizations power their fleets with our efficient and reliable wireless technology. Electric fleets will continue to adopt charging technology that delivers the lower total cost of ownership benefit of moving to electric vehicles, said Rich Moore, Vice President of Fleet at ChargePoint. Together, InductEV and ChargePoint will provide integrated software and hardware solutions for fleets looking to maximize their total cost of ownership advantage. So having read that, I think this is a pretty interesting partnership between ChargePoint and InductEV. There's still a lot of questions here, both in terms of how they're going to be carrying out this partnership, exactly what they're going to be doing together, and then questions about how large this is going to be for ChargePoint. How big of a deal is this, My guess is that this partnership is going to start off pretty small. I don't think this is anything too major for ChargePoint. But in the future, if wireless EV chargers do indeed catch on, then this could be a pretty big opportunity for ChargePoint. Of course, there's a number of advantages and disadvantages to using wireless chargers. I think there's two main downsides here. One of them being it's less efficient, so you're going to use more electricity and have a slower rate of charge. Although I do think the efficiency of these wireless EV chargers has been improving. But then the other downside would be the higher cost, essentially. They mention, in this article that this is a lower total cost of ownership. So I'm not entirely sure how this ends up achieving that. I would imagine this would be more expensive because you'd have more components involved. as far as the big pad that goes underground. Not only is there the additional hardware there, but then there's the additional costs of installing that as well. But on the other hand, these can be embedded into the road itself. So, for the bus example, it can just roll up to the station, begin charging, and once it leaves, the charging is done. These can also be a good solution for autonomous vehicles, since if there's nobody in the car, then nobody's going to be able to plug it in. So the car can just roll over one of these chargers and begin charging that way. But I don't think it's impossible for there to be some sort of automated solution for plugging in the vehicle. So I wouldn't say this is the only way of doing it. Of course, there's also battery swap as well, which, for NIO, which is the largest, battery swapper, their process is pretty much fully automated as well. So there's a number of solutions, I would say, for autonomous vehicles, but this could be one of them. Also, we still don't really know the details of this partnership. We don't know if ChargePoint is going to be purchasing these units from InductEV and then, having them on their network, or if InductEV is going to be the owner of these, of the hardware, but it's just going to be ran on the ChargePoint network. So it'll be interesting to see how this partnership shapes up and what benefits this could provide for ChargePoint's fleet business and maybe others in the future as well. I've got a number of other videos on EV charging companies, including ChargePoint, so be sure to check those out, and I'll see all of you in the next video.